Pennsylvania. Put your hands together for Brother Bill James. Young gun.
You like the bow tie.
Hi everyone. Hey. Did anyone in here ever get mugged in high school? No. I'm the only one? Oh, I forget.
I did once.
Do you know what the hardest thing for a black man to get now in America is?
What's that?
You know what the hardest thing for him to be is?
What's that?
The hardest thing for him to be now is a can't-do brother. Now, you know what a can't-do brother is?
No.
A can't-do brother is a brother who finds it hard to do the things that his friends and colleagues find easy. He can't dress. He can't dance. He can't get no girls. Ladies, you know the kind. You're in the club, the guy come up with you, you lean over to your friend, yo, I got me a Fresh Prince. You get him home, he turn out to be a Carlton. It's tough to be a can-do brother. You don't get respected, nobody cares about you, nothing. It's hard. But we persevere. I mean, they persevere. Sorry. My problem with fresh material. My problem with these people is they don't know their limitations.
Really?
We know their limitations, but they don't know their limitations. They all happy to be all up around us, and we're like, man, get out of here. But that's the way they are. You would think being picked last all the time to be on teams and stuff, that they would get the hit, but they so oblivious to it all, they just happy that they're on the team.
That's right.
But, you'll have to excuse me a little bit here.
Take your time. Get home.
My glasses aren't working correctly.
Okay, yeah.
Are you Steve Urkel?
You need better glasses.
Oh.
And the worst part, these people, is the reputation they give us real brother. You know, like you go in a club and you see them, and the ladies look at them, they walk up to you and say, you want to dance? Sure. And they get out on the floor and they can't dance. Ruin is for all of us. All of us. So brothers, when you're out there dancing, do your thing. Don't be a can't-do brother. It's tough. Being a can't-do brother like that is being like 7 foot tall and can't play basketball. With our eyes, we see a tall guy. Our mind tells us, tall guy, play basketball. And then you get kind of shocked when you realize the brother stinks. But later in life, these can-do brothers, they start to realize their can-doisms. You know, like when I was in high school and senior year. I mean, about the senior year in high school, they start to realize some of the limitations of some of the things they can't do. It's because they hang around their peers and they realize that wearing last year's fashions get you laughed at. Sticking out is not as fun as being in. So it's kind of tough on them. And by the time they get to like their freshman year of college, then it really hits them. By that time, everyone knows that they're a can-do brother. Matter of fact, every can-do person knew the exact moment that they realized there was a can-do brother. Mine was, I mean, people in my generation, when Michael Jackson started doing that moonwalking. Yeah. He was moonwalking all over the place. Right. He was cool. But the problem was, some of us can't moonwalk. Right. Oh man, I tried, I practiced for years and days, and I still couldn't get it. I got mad, I got angry, I got so angry, I went out and I beat up a nerd. Why did I beat up a nerd? Because I hate nerds. I always hated nerds. They always think they're smarter and better than us. But then I said, you know, in this time of political correctness, it ain't right to hate on nobody. You know, you can't hate on somebody that you don't know about. So what I decided to do was I'm going to go out and get nerducated. I'm going to learn everything I could about nerds, and then when I make a judgment on nerds, then I'll be correct. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass on my nerdist education to all of y'all. All right. But before I do that, there's one thing that you all should know.
What's that?
Nerds ain't always male. Right, Cynthia? Right, Roberta? Anyway. For this part, I'm going to need audience participation. I'm going to say something, and when it fits you, raise your hand, and if it don't fit you anymore, put your hand down. How many of you went to elementary school? High school? Keep them up. College? Grad school? Now, keep your hands up. Everybody got their hands up, keep them up. Now everybody look around.
I'm not in high school.
Studies said that 8 out of 10 people with college educations were or are currently nerds. Now I know y'all don't think y'all nerds, but y'all nerds. And don't think y'all were nerds and then somehow came out of it, because once a nerd, always a nerd. And I don't want to hear any of this stuff about I only got nerd tendencies. There's no such thing about nerd tendencies. When you're in the club and you see a guy over there, he got a hot water pants on and the horn rim glasses, and you're looking at your friend, hey man, that dude look like a nerd. He a nerd. Nerddom is forever. Embrace your inner nerddom. Because it might come out at any time. Ladies, think about this. You're in a club, you see that same guy, but you say, okay, I'm going to forget my first impressions. And you go up and you ask the guy for a cup of coffee. Okay. 10 minutes later, he done knocked the whole cup of coffee all over your brand new dress. And then he got the nerve to look at you and say, did I do that? Oh, no, really, it's tough being a nerd. You get picked on, kicked, punched. They took my lunch money. They beat me up. They mugged me. And it kept going on and on and on until they wanted something. And then it was like, oh, that's called Bill. Bill, no, Bill's smart. Like there's something wrong with being smart. There's nothing wrong with being smart. Embrace your nerddom. Love your nerds. Because if your kid ever needs brain surgery, who you going to want to do it?
Nerd.
The man that was the nerd all through high school, or the football player that never went to class?
Nothing personal, is it?
And all you parents, don't be ashamed of those little nerd and nerdettes that you're raising. You know the kids I'm talking about. The kids that would rather keep score than go to the soccer games.
Jasmine.
The kids that would rather watch Discovery Channel than Disney Channel. Love those kids. Love those kids. And another thing, don't be making your nerdy little kids do stuff you can't do. If your 8-year-old has programmed anything for you in the last year, you're raising a nerd. If your 14-year-old can do your taxes better than you, so now, you all know about the nerds, so we're almost out of here. So we're going to do this last audience participation and then we out. I'm going to get a scenario and y'all going to say nerd. All right? If somebody asks you for your address and you give me your email address, you are a
nerd.
If you know your email address more than your phone number, you are a
nerd.
If your computer screen at home has more than 2 monitors, you are a
nerd.
If you're sitting in a room and you're texting your partner sitting right next to you to change the channel, you are a
nerd.
If you wore a bow tie any time in the last month, you are a
nerd.
Moonwalk. If you can't moonwalk, you are a
nerd.
If you're a Patriot fan, you are a Patriots fan.
Hey!
Thank you. Thank you. None personal, none personal.
But if you are a Steelers fan, you are a
nerd!
Yeah!